Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio Podcast. I'm Reece.
I am Dan.
I'm the Eggman. I am the Walrus. I'm Declan.
Wow.
Oh my god. This is going to be interesting because I don't have like a super vast knowledge of the Beatles.
Yeah.
And
But
I don't like the Beatles.
And so it sounds like
Which
you're
is-
going to be the one that we're going to be bouncing off big time for this one. Like
Well,
I
as
know
much as I did, I don't know like an awful. I'm not like a historian. Of
Yeah,
anything like that.
but I'm guessing you definitely know more than probably us because I probably knew maybe half of the songs in the movie.
Okay. Yeah.
So-
I basically I knew pretty much everyone's
Yeah,
songs.
yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So
I only knew the slow ones. I should rephrase what I said because I always go too extreme, but I like their slow songs. I don't like the fast ones or the ones with too much instruments in them.
Probably-
To me, they're too multi-layered. And
I think you're probably right. I'm the same.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, it just sounds like a busy mess. I know it's blasphemous to say that, but yeah.
I don't think any of the songs are bad, obviously, but I do think that, like, for example, I was waiting for Blackbird. I was like, where's Blackbird in this thing? I want to hear Blackbird.
Yeah.
Never played, and I was like, oh. But I thought, okay, let's get into it.
Yeah.
This week we're reviewing Yesterday, directed by Danny Boyle and written by Richard Curtis and who else? Who else wrote this? Jack Barth did the story. So
He was the original script.
Was it?
So I think there's actually. I don't know if
it's been
this
a
steals
rewrite?
from a fact. I think it was him, but the original script was different. It was actually
That's right. Yeah.
still works. This version.
Yeah.
I think either version would have been good, but he didn't become successful. It was more
Right.
about the idea of it's not about the art, it's about the messenger displaying the art
Yeah.
that makes it good. So it was basically going to say you couldn't just take the Beatles songs and become famous from them.
Yeah.
But then Richard Curtis jumped on and was like, no, I think we'll do it this other
Yeah.
way.
Richard
You
Curtis,
probably
is he linked to the Beans?
He's
Is it right for that?
maybe he was Love Actually, Forwardings and a Funeral, or Notting Hill.
'Cause I used to see
is that right?
Curtis name in the Beans.
He does a lot of like British romance sort of films.
Right.
Yeah, so he's done Love Actually, yeah, Four Weddings and a Funeral, About Time.
I'm sure he was a writer in Mr. Beans.
Can't see any Mr. Bean. Oh yeah, Mr. Bean Holiday.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So I guess he's had his hand.
He's got a
Yeah.
style.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bean,
Yeah, there you
He
go.
was, there you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
what a memory.
creator.
Yeah.
He's the creator of it.
Pretty
so-
good.
Yeah, I think, yeah, exactly.
Can I just say off the bat,
Yeah,
I think this movie shines best when, is it Ellie? Yeah, Ellie and Jack. Is it Jack? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are together. I think once they separate, it sort of, not a dive, it just sort of goes a bit stalemate.
well, luckily, like probably well over 50% of the film is with those two.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I mean, like Lily James is so good
Yeah.
in this movie.
She's really good.
like really, really good.
Yeah.
But let's get into initial thoughts. I think you seem pretty keen. So
Yeah, so that was my initial one. The cinematography in this is bloody good.
yeah.
Yeah. More so the framing, like the leading lines.
A couple of Dutch tilts in there, eh?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
typical Danny Boyle.
He does do that a lot, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Even if the text, he puts like text and all that. It's for me, it's more, you know, when they're walking on the beach in the beginning and you got those boat sheds.
Yeah.
Yeah, how they just got the leading lines through that, and it's good, man. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And even the car scenes. There's actually a lot of car scenes. They've in the car a lot. And there's one particular shot as well when they're driving the car. It's like a typical Instagram shot. Nighttime, orange light, orange fog, and a car with the red lights through it.
Yeah.
It just fits so well. It's like a real mysterious sort of setting.
That standard type of
Yeah.
shot.
But yeah, overall, I enjoyed the movie. It was a good, because what was the other movie we reviewed? Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
And this just was, for me, it was just light years ahead of that. I know they're two different films, but yeah, I'd just rather watch this movie than that one, which is weird because I love action movies.
Yeah, that is super weird.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But maybe I'm getting more
But you thoroughly
soft in my
enjoyed
old
it.
age. Yeah. It's good. Good movie.
Also, I forgot to do it, but this is a spoiler warning. We will spoil this movie
Yes.
completely. Like we'll get into a deep dive with it. So just want to put that out there
I already did it, really.
a little bit. Oops. Declan, go for it.
Yeah, I think this is my second time watching this movie. The first time I watched it was on a plane. And I don't know about you guys, but emotions are always heightened on a plane.
Yeah.
for me when I'm watching movies.
Why is that? Because you could just die in your second.
Just tired. You're just tired. 'Cause I'm not sleeping. Like, these are like long haul flights to Europe and stuff.
Yeah,
and
I
it's
guess
like,
you want to invest more time in watching something.
and you're like sitting there and like I'm not sleeping, you know. And I remember watching Ratatouille on my way back from America and just like
yeah.
freaking like
Really?
And this time the same sort of thing, but it happened again to me watching it this time. Which is, I don't know if it's because I do feel like I do have a special spot for the Beatles in my heart. But that point where that woman says, "Oh, a world without the Beatles is one that's not as good," that hit me, and I was just like, "Yeah, it's true."
Actually, you know what? That was a cool little. I wouldn't say it's a twist, but you'd think that those two, when you're the first one to rush, you think, "Oh, they're going to dub him in, ruin it for him."
Yeah.
But I like that little thing of what you just said.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
yeah,
Just thank you.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
So.
And Ed Sheeran.
And that's
Oh, he was so
cameo.
good.
I'm not gonna lie, man. He's. I like the slow stuff. He's good, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, retrospectively, Ed Sheeran is a fantastic musician all round.
Yeah.
Like, just his ability to songwrite is otherworldly.
I'm not a wild fan of his music. Like, I don't go out of my way to listen to it.
Yeah.
But you have appreciation.
He's good, obviously.
Yeah,
but
because I do weddings, and usually they pick one of his songs for the first dance, and it's always like it doesn't get old like the old stuff.
See, so this was actually, and it was something I was saying after I watched this movie. That's something about the Beatles that you don't hear a lot these days. And I don't know if it's a sign of the times or it's just, but all of their songs are just bundles of positivity.
Yeah.
Like the songs are all about positive things. So there's like a lot of songs these days are about breakups and things like that. You just don't get.
It's true. Yeah.
It's just interesting to hear. Like, and
Yeah.
Their songs are all about I've got the girl, or this girl still loves you, and things like that. It's not like they're not dire. It's just so
They
interesting.
feel good by the end of it.
Yeah,
Or
maybe
they're-
you're right, man. It's the time of change, and
But also like
times
the
changing.
freak chance of those four guys meeting each other. Like
Yeah.
Paul McCartney, John Lennon, and George Harrison. Ringo's good as well, but those three are prolific, amazing songwriters in their own right. Like they all went on to do things by themselves. They could have
are they
by
all from
themselves.
Liverpool?
Yeah, they could have all been amazing, but they found each other, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And then we're able to work together.
Yeah.
Which is not usual.
And they
common
produced
thing
like
either.
they produced like a lot of albums, and even when they ended, it wasn't like they didn't hate each other. It was just they were kind of like, I think maybe we just need to take a break here because we sort of run out. We're all on different paths at the moment. And the sad thing is they were talking about reforming before John Lennon was shot. Which is just,
Yeah.
But I don't know if it probably would have still been great to see more albums, but it's almost as if, when someone goes in, does their thing and goes, we're dipping.
Yeah.
like, we've made our mark.
The thing is, their last album's still fire. That's the one when they played on the rooftop. That was their last ever performance. It was still fire.
Yeah.
And they were still producing good stuff independently. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we got amazing stuff out of them.
Paul
Anyway.
McCartney's producing stuff now.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Still dropping albums.
Is he like any good now? Or?
Yeah, he's still.
Yeah,
I mean,
still.
it's still fun to watch. Like he's obviously not at his peak of his powers, but you watch him play Hey Jude, and it's still incredible.
Yeah. What are his new stuff? Any good? Or?
Oh,
I'd have to deep dive.
It's the same as anything. You will sit there and listen to the songs, but you really want to hear him play the bangers from his catalogue, which he does in his sets. He knows.
Yeah.
He celebrates his career. Like he doesn't hide from it, which is good.
Yeah, I think it's definitely made me, because I've done deep dives in things like Prince, Alice Cooper. Like I've gone in weird little junctions and gone through a discography and stuff like that.
I do
And-
the same thing when I find you, but
But I think I got to do one for the Beatles properly because I've listened to the White Album was the first album, wasn't it? And
it's a good album, yeah.
Which I think I enjoyed that album more than I think the next two after that, if I remember.
Yeah.
And
That's the
then-
most straightforward rock
Yeah,
one. Yeah.
super simple.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like listening to very similar era, like the Ramones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, these guys are people that paved the way for what would be rock music or what would be pop music.
Yeah.
And, I think going into this is an interesting concept for the film.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that idea before of, will these songs actually, be big now? I don't think they actually truly would now.
I think
Because there's a lot of music coming out now.
I don't know. You hear
that
him
we
play
never
yesterday on
hear.
that acoustic guitar on that scene on the beach, and you think, all I can think to myself is, this song is a fucking banger. Like, this is a massive song.
He's got a good voice, that guy too.
Yeah, it does.
But it's less about if the song is so good. It's more about if anyone's ever going to hear it.
Yeah.
It's not
I think
the
it'll be
fact that
harder
the songs
now
are good.
because you got to remember as well. There's the whole social media where people are listening, like people getting picked up from TikTok, Spotify, Instagram stories.
But I think a good song is still a good song.
Yeah, it's
like
true.
I know
yeah.
when I go to see friends bands and things like that, there's definitely songs that I hear where I'm like, I could hear that on the radio. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not just about it is like timing and circumstance is still a factor. Don't get me wrong. But
see, you kind of proved it for yourself there. You just said I can hear friends' songs that I could be like, that's a really good song on the radio, and then you never hear it on the radio.
I've heard it on the radio.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. I mean, like,
wow.
I'll shut my fucking mouth then.
No, I know what you mean. Though. It is hard to
yeah.
get bigger though. But like, I think what this movie's trying to say though is that they were so amazing. Basically, this is a world where you don't have that link that would have created all these other bands and things like that. So it's
Pretty
like
much, yeah.
In some way it'd be like hearing a type of music for the first time, really, right? Because like it even has the joke that Oasis don't exist because how could they without the Beatles? Basically, like how many other things didn't happen because of
Coke
it? You know?
didn't exist.
Yeah, and cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Harry Potter.
I like how they did the cutaways. that was a bit a little comedic touch.
Yeah, he goes, what's a cigarette? He goes, no. For myself, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it's a very simple film, though. And I think that's what it's supposed to be. It's nice to see someone like Danny Boyle, a guy who actually doesn't really make super simple movies. Like Slumdog Millionaire wasn't, I wouldn't say, a simple film.
I've forgotten that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I think
Just
that I like Slumdog Millionaire, but
like
I have to say that's got to be one of those Oscars that just needs to.
Yeah, it
that's a
doesn't-
revisionist Oscar, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Slumdog.
I agree.
What is it? And then I like Train Spotting, both the Train Spottings, but I think that you don't like them.
No, I like it.
Yeah, but they're also yet again super complicated. Like they're running around everywhere and things are
Jobs.
here and there. Yeah, Jobs. Yeah, and that's what
I really like Jobs. Was super
yeah.
underrated, man.
I thought it was
Yeah.
excellent. I didn't want it to finish.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
it's
was
very underrated.
That
film.
was a really good biopic, and it really just no one watched it. Nobody watched it.
I reckon because of the Aston Kutcher one, maybe stained it a bit.
Well, Aston
Yeah, that
Kutcher.
one wasn't great.
No, but it was like I think the Aston Kutcher one was more like
Big grade.
yeah.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's nice to see this type of director go and do something that is just, I mean, it's a pretty standard film. Like in the sense of
But
guy
it's
gets
nice.
big,
It's nice.
sees that what he has or had was more important to him than what he has now, and goes back and finds his loved one.
Yeah.
But-
I think the chemistry plays out well though.
Yeah, and there's more than just that. I mean, like I'm really
Yeah. Plus the music
Baselining
and all that.
everything.
Yeah. It's good.
But and maybe the best part about it is the fact that the concept of it is like, gets hit by the bus and then, forgets everything. Like all the world forgets everything.
There are people that are annoyed that they didn't dive into exactly what happened there.
Oh, why?
And I was like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't need to
I
know.
don't care either.
There's the same with just the same with heaps of movies. Like, it wasn't explained. I'm like, why do you need it though? Just bog the story down. Really, like they would have to then spend 10 minutes explaining what happened. I don't care what happened.
Also, like on this front, this is like what an everyday person would be like in that scenario. You know what I mean? It's not like we've got a scientist that's just some machine's gone off and then the whole world's gone down and now we got to figure out why.
But
it's
also
literally one of the people on the planet.
Yeah, but also if you think about it, for all we know, there's only 3 people in the whole world that remember the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
So there's only 3 people in the world that know something's changed after that event. So
Yeah.
why would anyone be researching what happened? They'd just be like, oh, that was crazy. There was a blackout.
Yeah.
Maybe find out what happened, but then they wouldn't be going into like, oh, how come everyone's forgotten? They don't know that they've forgotten.
Yeah.
Like they just think life is going on as normal. So
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to spoil one of the little facts because I think this is really cool. At the end of the film, there's actually a moment where instead of him saying Harry Potter, she says Harry Potter and he goes, what's that?
Oh, is that an alternate scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then she goes,
Yeah.
oh, this would be a cool...
Yeah, that'd be
yeah. So
yeah.
instead of like, it's as if he's forgotten what it is and
Yeah, right.
she knows what it is. So, but that obviously never went
Yeah.
into the film. Let's get into it. The opening of this with the smooth Tennessee whiskey and the 3 weeks after the event, Well, just a great little like tie-in, and well, we know already that it already has a great soundtrack, but just like things like that in the film, I think were really stand out. I have K23 here written in.
Is that your Midnight Sky?
Yeah, you got the wrong notes up.
Oh,
It was like the
my
smooth Tennessee
God.
whiskey,
Yeah,
and I was
what
like,
are you talking about? There we go.
Because it was...
K23,
It does have something else to do with it.
I noticed it on his thing. I'm going, I wonder if he's going to read that. And
I
he
was
read
like,
it out.
doesn't it open with him playing the summer song?
Yeah.
Fuck, man. You can see that I just make some shit up here on the go.
Because then you're like, it already has a great soundtrack, and I was like, did I miss the start of this movie?
Well, the first thing...
Did
Okay.
we watch the same one?
I'm trying to drive the show here.
What's that?
Oh,
You didn't like the Dutch tilt shots, mate.
No, I said... Just because I said weird use of tilt shots.
Right.
Like, there was moments in it where it'd just
It's
be
jarring.
like... Yeah, because
Yeah,
it
it
would
was
be like
jarring.
they're walking,
Yeah.
and then it's just... It's a tilt
Danny
shot.
Boyle just loves them. He just loves doing them.
And there's no need for
There's
this.
no reason.
No.
I was trying
It's
to,
just
I was
his thing.
scraping to try and find out why he's done it, but it's just his style. It was his thing. Yeah.
Yeah, because is the ones like in the park, the festival,
yeah.
Yeah, that's
and they're
what-
walking along in the festival. It's like, well, why are we at an angle at the moment?
Yeah, odd. What did the cinematographer at the time's going, why the fuck is he telling me to do this for?
They probably work together on a lot of movies.
Yeah.
The movie looked good, but would you say it looked like really good?
No,
There was
I'm saying I wouldn't say it's not the grade. I just like the shot composition.
okay.
I thought it's
I think it was
really
purposely.
it's clean, very
It was
clean.
purposely clean and a bit
Yeah.
like this isn't. I want a better word for this, but the color's a bit bland
Yeah,
almost.
it's just like straight. Looks like it's straight from camera. Just
Yeah.
cleaned up white balance.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm watching it, and I've worked on a few films, like films that have now been released, features, and most of those features look like this. Like, I was watching it and I was like, this looks like
Just
what
clean.
those movies look like.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because it made me feel like I was watching a super indie film.
Yeah, which I think
that's what they're going for.
it's good. Yeah, and it looks like when they grade it like that, when it looks like real, I think they want to just push you in there, so it looks like you've shot it yourself.
It's interesting
Like
because
the color.
Whenever I would watch something like that, I'd be like, oh, this feels, I don't know, it doesn't feel expensive. And that's why it's weird, because we're always watching things that feel expensive.
Yeah, I don't see
That
that.
doesn't really bug me ever.
No?
No.
For me, it did.
Because I think a visual style is a visual style.
Yeah.
They committed to it, and
Mine's
it
more
makes
the acting,
sense for
story,
what it
and
is. Like it takes place in a small bloody town in England. Like
Yeah.
Like if you look at
it's about a guy that has nothing really.
yeah,
It's like-
so Edgar
that's true.
Wright is pretty much the same grade as well
yeah.
in all these movies. Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, but see,
it's
he's
clean.
Yeah, but it doesn't look the same as that.
Oh, it's pretty close, I reckon.
I'd have to rewatch because I don't know. I got a
clean.
very
I look at the skin
super
tones.
simple.
The skin tones are very like they're exact.
okay.
Yeah, well, other movies that might be too warm or Chris Nolan or Michael Bay.
Let's not go down that track again. Jesus.
Hey, I backed it up.
You can't let it go is the problem.
Jeez,
Oh my lord. I like all the other little music, not the other part of the soundtrack because there's no other soundtrack, but the little drops in other artists. Like someone says "Neutral Milk Hotel" at one point in time, and I was like, "We actually bringing other things like that into this." I'm like,
I don't know who
kind
that
of got
is.
me excited.
What's
It's
that?
another band. They're really good.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of like really cool little jokes. The Pope coming
Yeah.
up is genius.
Yeah.
Like on
Yeah.
the screen. 'Cause it was-
John Lennon, Paul McCartney. It's
Yeah.
like Pope John Paul.
Well, yeah, it came all up. And obviously, if we could,
I was gonna say I like his dad.
That-
matter how
oh my
famous
God,
his dad is.
that Let It Be scene is fucking hilarious, man.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, how frustrated would it be?
so funny,
Yeah,
man.
but I just like how he just even at the end when he's about to go up on the rooftop, he goes, "Oh, so the sandwiches there." So he goes, "Dad, just take him
When he
here."
goes, he's like, "You look exactly like Ed Sheeran." He's like, "I had Ed Sheeran." He's like, "Oh, well done."
So good.
He's like, "Do you know where the pickles are?" And you're like, "No."
How's Oh, sorry,
He's so
I'm cutting
good,
you off.
isn't it?
But when I did that, he goes, "You got 10 minutes to make a song." Like
Oh, yeah.
Ed Sheeran to me, I thought he was acted well. Like he legit sort of like he had the shits.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he was more. It was more. It's not the shits. It was more just like the realization that
Frustration.
I'm not that good. Or I'm not as good.
And it's pretty like Ed Sheeran is pretty self-deprecating in this movie because like he's taken like there's a scene too when he's walking along, his phone rings and he's got his own song as his ringtone, which I thought was hilarious. That was like a nice little.
Yeah.
He would have been like, oh, let's do that, you know. But because that would be him at the top of his game, thinking no one's going to beat him, and then he just gets absolutely
trumped.
And then like he really that's really like brave to play it that way.
Yeah.
That like he's pissed about it.
Yeah.
Which is you would be.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I mean, like, the funny thing is that the song that he actually sang was pretty good as well. Like,
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Penguins.
But that's what they said.
you're
Like
damn.
that's what they said. They're like the soon to be defeated. But then he goes and plays the long and winding road, which is
Yeah. And you're like,
So
okay,
I've got a question because I'm not much of a Beatles fan, but and I haven't heard all the songs. But that song that he plays on the piano, is it actually sung like that by the Beatles, or is it harder or more rocky?
No, it's piano. It's just their songs are just like they were just incredible storytellers, and they just were able to convey love like in a way that just no one else could do it.
Yeah.
Basically.
But the way he's Jack sang it, is that how the Beatles sang it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was a nice song, eh?
Most of the stuff he sings similar. The only things that All My Life, the one that he plays on the TV for the first time, that's a really good song. But it's still a slower song, but it's got more instruments in it in the original
Okay.
version.
Right. Yeah.
He just plays a stripped back. Most of the stuff he does is just stripped back acoustic stuff until near the end.
And don't forget, Hey Dude.
Oh, that's hilarious too. Hey, that's so funny.
Hey Dude. You're like,
What's
like,
it?
this hurts.
It's strong in their music. It's like those clapping cymbals. What are those called?
Maracas.
Nah, is it what they call it, percussion or something?
Yeah,
Clapping cymbals. What, on your fingers?
Nah, just the sounds in the music. I hate that sound.
What, the
Well, actually,
You
it's the
sure?
clap.
Nah, it's
the
not a
cymbals
clap.
where you
I'll
hold
go-
them and
I'll-
you do that type of thing. You're
After
like,
we go off, I'll play a song and then
okay.
yeah, I'll let you know. And that's why when I was watching this, I was thinking it'd be cool if they lived now and made it with current instruments.
I don't think it would have the same feeling though.
But this is the thing about this, that whole idea though is you say things like that all the time, which is like no, but I'm trying to like make a comparison here,
Yeah.
because this is why I've never been able to vocalize it properly, but this movie clicked it for me.
Yeah.
So you say that, but without them pioneering the way like that, we wouldn't have the music that we
that's
have
true,
today,
yeah.
right?
My
And so
friend
it's the
said
same
the
with when you say
Yeah.
like Mandalorian is the best Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right now, it's the most modern and it is doing a very good job of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But if you don't have all the other Star Wars movies that came before it, which
That's
are now
right.
which are limited by the technology of their time,
Yeah.
that show doesn't have the same impact that it
Yeah,
does.
it's
You know what I
true.
mean? So
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, I
you
know
need
what
to
you
like
mean, yeah.
view it as like
It evolves.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah.
I mean,
I'm just more attuned to the current
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
technology. Jeez.
Yeah. Although in saying that, I still like
It'd be cleaner.
some of Kiss's stuff. I like Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I think their sound is what I like. I
Yeah,
resonate more
it'd
to.
definitely be cleaner, I think.
Yeah.
And I think, but sometimes it's weird because specific sounds from times make it what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, back in the day when the Beatles were recording, you had to record it live. You couldn't just record separate tracks. They were literally in a studio playing those songs live, and they didn't even have enough microphones. Like they were sharing.
I
mics.
remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why it's to me it just turns me off. But I don't know. It's just me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's like
But yeah, like I
if you can't get past that, then that is like
Yeah.
that's your own thing. Like it is.
Yeah.
It is.
and
It is a different style. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I appreciate all done. 'Cause,
Yeah. I think of a world where, like, would I be able to listen to Phil Collins make Susudio now? No.
Phil Collins. I went on a Phil Collins run last week. So good, man.
He is good. It's like, you guys don't know the Beatles, but Phil Collins?
Yeah, Phil Collins is great. Wait, is that
If
your
we ever do a
mic?
Phil Collins movie, you guys can have me on Phil Collins knowledge then. 'cause I
We
don't
can
know
just
that
do
much about
American-
Phil
Oh, I
Collins.
don't know the knowledge. I just
Just do
songs are great.
American Psycho, man. He'll explain everything about Phil Collins in a scene. Pretty much. Oh, I was going to talk about Kate McKinnon in this movie.
She's good.
She's really good.
I like Kate McKinnon.
I really like Kate McKinnon. But I do think there's only one thing I think about Kate McKinnon is that she is better in the small doses, and she was just enough in this movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Any more, and I would have been like,
I feel the same about,
much.
and the same with like Kristen Wiig as well. Like, I feel like what I think about them is that they're always slated as comedians, but I actually just think they're good actresses that play characters so well that it's funny.
Yeah,
like to a ridiculous level.
Oh yeah, because this character is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like you're looking at it. She literally says things like, "You're a product to me."
When she goes on,
her eyes talk really well. It's like they're just real blank.
When she's like talking and she's just like, one more question. She's like, "Is this the best you can look?"
That's like a massive
He's just like,
stab.
and she's like, lovely.
I liked his dress sense, the white shirt for the sports coat.
Oh yeah, he was
Sick.
like, I mean, he was very
Trendy.
like, I could see a traveling musician.
But like
do
this
that.
whole thing was showing like what happens when you become part of the machine.
Yeah, I know.
Like when
Yeah, it's
Winston
like,
from New Girls got that like board of 50 people there for the album, and they're all laughing at the famous album names from the Beatles catalog.
Yeah.
And they're all like,
yeah.
so dumb. And then he's like, then they're all clapping. And it's like, that must be what Hollywood and music industries are like with those committee boards that decide
they showed that in
things, man.
Entourage.
Crazy.
When they were trying to win Vincent Chase, and he went to a few different. This was when he had a bad run with Ari Gold.
Yeah,
and he just went through the same sort of rigmarole.
yeah.
And remember that? And he had the shits. He goes, "Fuck, it's all the same shit."
Yeah, it's all the same type of movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, what did they name the album? It was like
Black.
One Man Only.
One Man
All
Only.
songs written and
That's right.
performed by Jack Malloy.
Yeah. And then it
Man
shows the back of the head, and everyone's like, "Ooh." It was like an Apple convention.
And then when he's like the White Album, he's like, a little bit racist. And he's like, what?
Wow.
Did they have any more? I can't remember. Did they have any more albums that were based off colors after that?
I think the White Album was the only.
Yeah, the only one. No,
Yeah.
it's not like Weezer. Every album is like the
it
green
was-
album, the red album, and just that type of thing. Oh my lord! What did you guys think of the whole room of likes and views moment, where he's in this like room that's just TVs, and the views are ticking over.
That's another Danny Boyle thing.
Yeah.
Oh, the like montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
I like that it was almost like an Apple
Yeah.
press thing.
Yeah.
Like they're at like a convention and he's like standing in the middle watching it roll over and tick over.
Yeah.
And seeing these opinions from people that he's like, I don't know any of these people. And
It's imagine going through that. It'd be surreal.
yeah.
And I think that conveys it well, that little montage.
It's interesting to see that because you see the progression of someone that is like
Part of the
an
machine.
up and coming, but also like the beginning of it is like I don't really care what people think because it's just so like people are thinking anything of it, and then as things continue on, it's like, well, now I do care how people think about these things, and I want to hear what people have to say and all that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This movie does it says a lot more than just, obviously what we've said so far, as in, would the Beatles be big now? Or things like that. So, and I think it has a lot to do with fandom and things like that. But I like that little scene, that little in-house moment where he's watching that happen.
I just wish he played all of Wonderwall, even though it's Oasis.
Well,
That's one of my favourite songs of all time, man. It's so good.
I thought he might play that at the Ed
The
Sheeran
end.
concert to like as a tribute to her. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to do that as well.
They might have been able to get the full
good
rights
song.
to it or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But see, it depends. I think it's murky with the Oasis stuff because the Gallagher brothers are so against each other at the moment.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to nail down the rights to things.
Yeah.
This was a really good cinematography moment when they're at the hotel and they've just got the screen from the TV lighting their faces. And I thought that was really like a intelligent like way to do it.
A lot of these new movies, well, not new, this is 2019.
Yeah.
I think it's probably started from around 2015 onwards. That's where I see the jump of, great cinematography to like amazing cinematography and just using all that practical stuff.
Do you think a lot of it has to do with the fact that that's predominantly when we became digital in shooting
Yeah, probably.
because they're able to look at they're able to watch back their takes. I reckon that would have a massive part
That
to do
plus,
with it.
I think the rise of social media, because if you type in like cinematography hashtag in Instagram, man, there's a lot of freaks out there.
Yeah, I do, but I do believe that being able to watch back their stuff would be a massive part of it.
yeah.
Like you just didn't have that luxury when you were doing film, right? Like
And seeing it in camera.
yeah,
As well as the quality of it now. Like you see, like probably 5-10 years ago, the quality of being able to shoot something with that low of a light would be probably non-existent.
And the range.
Yeah.
Because they now reckon that, well, it depends who you speak to. The newer cameras. Was this shot digitally?
I'm fairly sure it was.
It
looks digital. I can tell you that though. Tech specs. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, Red Weapon.
Red Weapon 8K.
Yeah, they're saying that these
like
Panavision
an $80,000 camera.
Yeah.
They reckon that I think the roll off between the whites and the blacks, it's pretty much better than film now. It's like 16 stops or 17 stops. I can't remember.
It's made leaps and bounds technology.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, like if you compare it to
it's getting to the point now where it's like these, like I appreciate all these guys that want to look after celluloid and stuff, but the pros of digital are just outweighing the negatives.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine Robert Richardson? Because I know he's a film person. If he fully adopts digital, man, he could. I don't know. Do you reckon he'll get better?
Well, look at Deakins, for example, man. Like, he was a purist and he didn't want to do it. And then he did that Bond film and he was like, dude, she's like, no, I'll never go back to film. He's like, no way. And they were like, and he was just like, it's so much more convenient. Like, he was annoyed that he'd been so stubborn about it, basically.
Yeah, well, any change you do, you just look at it in the screen. It's like, oh, yeah, it's good. Because what you're seeing is, and you put your lights up in camera.
And the flexibility that I have, like 1917, you couldn't have made that movie on film. You couldn't have.
Way.
No way.
You're painting bum.
Couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's giving new storytelling like tools to people. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's places for both of them.
I agree with that.
But yeah, it is becoming vastly.
I think Tarantino, PTA, and like, I know that you'll probably hate this, Tim, but Nolan, I think those three are still doing amazing things in film, and I feel like I wouldn't want them to switch to digital.
Even Spielberg, I would say.
He's gone digital.
He's gone digital in a lot of things, but he still loves celluloid.
Yeah, right.
Like, he really is into. He embraces technology, but he does say like commonly that
that film he shot with Hanks and what's it, the FBI spy thing?
Bridge of Spies.
That was a beautiful film movie.
Was that filmed or digital?
It was filmed, yeah. And they used a lot of like super wides as well.
That was another underrated
good
movie,
mix.
man.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
Good movie.
And it really didn't get talked about enough.
It was
up there.
The movies, I think. Didn't
We saw the movies.
I remember it was up there. The thought I had from it is I had a similar feeling from like that as I did Argo.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's similar, like, just type of come out of it, and I was like, well, that was really good, and that was worth the watch.
Yeah.
But I remember walking out of Argo going, this is going to win movie of the year. I actually said that. I walked out and I was like,
right.
This is going to win movie of the year.
But I couldn't give Affleck the best director.
Yeah, I know.
He's a bad boy.
That's it. That's the reason.
Clooney stood up for him on stage, though.
What was that?
Clooney stood up for him on stage. At the
Yeah, he
Oscars.
did. Yeah, they're still good. They're good mates, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good mates. Yeah.
So there's lots of little good, obvious comedy bits in this film.
Yeah.
There's Rocky and the Crisps.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Rocky's pretty funny in general, really.
Pretty much all the way through the film. And I noticed a lot more advertisements in this movie than I expected. With Pepsi, Coke, Ribena.
Really on the nose too.
Yeah.
Well, they got to make some money.
I don't think I've ever seen a Ribena ad ever.
Yeah,
so that was interesting.
When I was a kid, man, they used to pump that ad.
Ribena.
Little
It's
berries.
cartoon ones. Yeah, they were on when I was a kid too. Yeah. I wonder if they're still on. I don't watch the commercials.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even know if you can still get it. Can you?
Commercial TV?
No, Ribena.
I was like, I was like, what?
No, Ribena.
Yeah. We get it from the shop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So people buy it in bulk? Or? Usually old people?
Usually, no, kids come in and get it.
Okay.
Because it's just like...
High in fibre, isn't it?
It's high and rot in your teeth. I know that.
Yeah. Wow.
Super acidic.
Yeah.
That's about it. And super sugar based.
Obviously, we're not doing an ad for Ribena.
Yeah. But Hit us up, Robin, and we'll say some nice things.
Reece is a food scientist.
The credit design for this is something well, number one, I ended up watching all the credits from start to end because of the song.
Hey Jude.
Yeah. Because I was listening to the song and I was
Where's
like,
the original recording of Hey Jude too?
yeah, it was, yeah. And not only that, but it had this thing where it would be like sound would come across the screen, and then it would be the sound department come up. Then it would say, second unit, and the second unit would come. And I was like, this is really cool. I'm actually following what is actually coming up in the thing. Yeah. I just thought it was a really cool way to credit out a film.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about like what the movie says. Because I think there's a lot more being said here than obviously what we've said. Things like what I put down here is not to covet what others have. By the end of the film, he's like, he's wanting to be this big star, wanting to make this music, wanting to, get his name out. And then he doesn't see what is around him until the end of the film.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common theme.
Yeah.
But it also has this part at the end where it's talking about the merit of what you're doing. So taking someone else's music in that never felt right to him.
No.
Yeah.
It was always something that felt almost like dirty and would mess with him. When he saw those people in the crowd and or he had that dream. There's that dream that he had where
James Corden.
Yeah. That's a good little cameo.
These aren't yours, and you see, I like how you see the two characters walk and one of them has no shoes. Who would have been?
That would have been Paul for sure. It was
Paul?
Paul and Ringo because they were the only two that were alive that he knew of,
So, yeah.
But there was a symbolic thing as well, the submarine. That kept popping up.
Yeah, that he kept holding
yellow
it up.
submarine,
And he kept having flashes.
Yeah.
Because that's like an iconic image.
I know that. Even though I don't really follow the Beatles, but
Yeah.
That was a Ringo Starr
good
song.
marketing.
He wrote that.
Yeah. But I
think they had a movie called Yellow Submarine as well.
They did, yeah.
Didn't they have a TV show? Oh, no, that was the Monkeys.
They had everything, man.
Was it the Beatles as well?
They had a movie called
TV?
Help, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they were basically like just jumped on. That's what happened to them though, the corporate machine, and that's why their first few albums are similar. They're all wearing the clean suits, and they've got the clean image. And then when they sort of like rebelled against that, and they grew their hair out and grew the beards, and they started experimenting with LSD and everything, and started writing they were the first ones to do like a concept album.
Was their music better after
that was Sgt. Pepper?
Well, it's different. I mean, they've still got good songs from the early stuff, but I think like like we never would have got Hey Jude or I mean, John Lennon wrote Imagine solo.
Fuck, that's a good song, yeah.
Like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is often put at the top of. It's the number one greatest album on time on a lot of like.
Which one's that one?
Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. It's you have to sort of listen to the whole album.
I actually controversially didn't enjoy the album.
I didn't like it till like my second listen to.
To it.
I'm gonna have to do it again because
I've heard the Abbey Road one. I was like,
Abbey Road's more of a classic album.
Yeah.
Sgt. Pepper's is like, it's not. It's as is often the case with concept albums. You need to listen to it more than once. Like the Arctic Monkeys' latest album,
I'm yet
Hotel
to listen.
Tranquility.
I really got to listen.
I can't even remember the name of it.
It's long.
I listened to my first listen through. I was like, oh, it's fine. I kind of like older Monkey stuff, and then I went back and I was like, actually, this is fucking fire. This is actually really good.
Yeah.
So what's the concept album? Is this when they just want to do their own thing?
No, a concept album is like when it's from start to finish. It's basically a whole package and it almost tells a complete story, and every song is kind of related to the same thing.
One of the most like in your face concept albums I've ever listened to is My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade. So if you listen to that from start to end, it's like a guy that's dying of cancer, and it's going through all the different emotions he has while he's being taken to the afterlife.
Yeah.
So like that's an example of like a story being told on it.
Yeah. It's Bon Iver. He's got one of those, isn't he? Someone told me, I think.
Maybe that his big album for Emma Forever. I'd have to listen to it again, but he wrote that when he was recovering from like a debilitating illness. So I imagine it would probably be all linked to each other like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. There are ones that are like obvious ones. I mean, the ones that are like purposely marketed as like a concept album, things like
Yeah.
that. So, yeah,
Yeah, I really like concept albums. That's like my jam.
Okay.
So when someone goes, "There's a new concept album," I'm like, all right, I'll go check it.
And you have to listen to them in order.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a listening process. So if you
Yeah.
go from start to end, and you just do it like a normal album, then there's a reason why those songs have been put in that order.
Yeah.
There's a reason why
Okay.
being told that way. So most of the time, there's some albums like, for example, Life of Pablo, where he goes, just listen to it, because the life of Pablo is not simple, it's complicated, and that's what a life is. It's complicated.
Even like Queens of the Stone Age Song for the Deaf is like loosely a concept album because it's like you're listening to a radio show and someone's tuning through the stations.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sgt. Pepper's is like they're a cover band. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band are a cover band, and the opening song is them introducing themselves, and the album plays through.
Yeah, but it's the Beatles.
Yes,
So-
but they're pretending to be another band in it, kind of thing.
I really got to re-listen.
Yeah, I'll add it to my Apple Music.
Yeah. But I think a big portion of this, and one of the biggest things I got from it, is the merit that you have from making something that isn't yours and taking from something that isn't yours.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, it eats away at him, and he doesn't feel like it's his anyway. I was waiting for him to have a moment in this movie where he put one of his own songs up.
He tried to.
Did he?
Yeah, the summer song. When he was doing the recording, he put it in there, and she goes,
Yeah, I don't like it.
Kate McKinnon was like,
That's
Yeah,
right.
she's like,
yeah.
I don't know how to
Flat or
say it.
something.
I don't like it, but I'm not interested enough to listen to it again to find out why.
It's so-
She punished
yeah, I
him.
know. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, it is a bit like he shouldn't have put "Here Comes the Sun" on the same album. He's
Yeah.
just going up against that.
but yeah,
But
like
it's a good tie, no? Sun, summer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nice to see that. I didn't really spot that, so I mean that kind of gets rid of what I was saying. But yeah, it's good to see that he tried to put his own song in there.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I had a big thing with that. I thought that by the end of it, I was hoping that maybe he would even release an album that was just his songs, because he then had a platform by the end of the film.
I just guess he'd had the revelation that it was more important for the world to have those songs than it was
Yeah.
for
To
him
have
to be
him.
successful.
Yeah.
It's also like, I think, obviously, one of the big parts of the movie, meeting John Lennon face to face, changes things for him
That
too.
was so cool. You know who played that?
Yeah, it's, he's in all the other Danny Boyle movies.
Robert Carlyle.
Yeah. He's the crazy guy in Trainspotting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen before.
So good.
He had prosthetics on and stuff, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Well, either that or it was like some form of CGI.
Yeah, something was going on.
But
The,
I don't think he's even credited.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
But that was like, that's a pretty beautiful moment to see, like, just because of the tragic way that John Lennon died and everything, to see him still alive and living a peaceful life, which you imagine he probably, like, realistically probably would have done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was all about peace.
Yeah, he probably would have lived pretty quietly afterwards.
And then, and when what does he say? He says, "Oh, the key to a good life is simple: tell the woman you love her, and always tell the truth."
Yeah.
And that's basically what he does at the end.
Yeah. You like these type of movies.
I do, yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I'm just looking
it's
at
good.
it. Yeah.
One of my mates, he said he was brought up in a rough area. And I can't remember the full story, but someone came into the school. This was like in year 6 or something. This is in Port Macquarie. And I think they had a rough upbringing, and then he died and blah, blah, blah. And have gone around to help these kids. And they said that the thing that I can tell you and teach you in life is to tell everyone that you love them.
Yeah.
And he said, since that day, like when he talks to his dad or mum every day, bang, I love you, I love you, I love you. And he said since then, his connection with his parents and everyone around him is just, he's closer.
Way closer, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a cool moment as well in the movie.
Oh, well, I love you, Dan.
I wish I could love you, mate.
Oh, son of a bitch. Well, can someone give us the facts? Unless they have anything else to say about
No, I was
about
just gonna
yesterday,
say
today.
One more thing. I just think when he confessed at the end, the crowd let him off pretty easy.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, I'm
they were
like-
just like,
Come on, man.
I mean, where's the tomatoes?
I think it was when he
but
said,
it was a happy
I think it
ending.
was when he said, I'm not going to take any money. I think that was when they turned
Yeah.
back around.
And he did the Apple on him. Remember when they
Yeah.
released, was it U2 for free?
Oh yeah,
But
yeah,
in this day and age, everyone how many people complain about the
No,
new
but
app
that
on
was.
the phone?
But he wasn't forcing it onto people's iPhones.
Yeah.
Everyone turned on their iPhones and U2's album.
Yeah.
It's crazy that everyone got so angry about that,
but
though.
seriously, it's
In
just
retrospect,
delete it.
thinking about that, I'm like,
know.
why would you get that mad about it?
I don't know.
Just delete it.
Considering the fact now that most people have signed up to Spotify and Apple Music, where they literally have every album in history on their phone
Yeah.
already, like
Yeah.
the fact that they got so mad about U2's
It's
album.
stupid. But anyway,
Just delete it.
I'm not sorry for
You
that.
could
if you
do
get
that,
offended.
couldn't you? That
Yeah.
was like you were allowed to delete it. Did it
Yeah,
matter?
you just,
Yeah.
you just remove it from your
Yeah.
library.
Yeah, crazy.
Just
That's what we
press a
did.
button.
I remember U2 going on one of the talk shows and they were just like, yeah, geez, everyone really hated having our album on their phone.
Yeah, wow. Probably a lot of people didn't listen to it because of it, though. They were just like,
Yeah,
"Are
it probably
you
got
serious?"
slammed. It was I don't think the world. It's one of those things. The world just wasn't ready for that thing. It's when you force people to try and do things.
Yeah.
You need to like let things happen slowly.
I guess they were like,
Oh,
they
even
wanted
now,
to try a
though.
new strategy.
Yeah, well, now everyone's just so worried about privacy. Like, you heard about the whole WhatsApp and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting rid of that and going.
Here's
to
my
that
thing,
Signal.
but if you've got any app on your phone,
Anything.
everyone knows where the fuck you are.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I know. Yeah, it's true, man.
All these
yeah.
websites are like you have to accept their cookies to go on them and
Yeah.
everything. Like we're all fucked anyway. They know what you're doing.
Hey, you
all
know
the
what's
time.
funny? If I search for, say, coffee machines or grinders or something like that,
Yeah.
right? Joanne gets those ads on her phone.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about when
'Cause we're on the same
I swear to
family
God,
thing.
I talk about
Crazy.
things out loud and I get ads for them.
Yeah.
on my
Yeah,
phone.
my mate says that too, eh? So now he covers his phone when he says I was like, what are you doing, man?
Legit. I've not typed in something. I've said it out loud, and I go on my phone, and then next thing I'm getting advertised for it. I'm like, they're fucking listening to
That's
it.
hectic.
I know, but it's one of those things where, like, I mean, unless you have something truly to hide,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, it's going to stop
Not-
talking about the marijuana and you.
No, it's just one of those things where, like, I have nothing to hide, so who the fuck cares?
Just brazen.
It's behind the set.
Oh, boy.
You could put your weed in there.
Yeah.
You remember the hot chick? Anyway.
That was a bad movie.
I know, it's not a good movie at all.
God damn it.
Someone dropped the facts.
Yeah, all right. Bloody hell! I told you, Reece. I needed these facts like yesterday.
It's better than what I could have made up. I would have just went.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was good because it intertwined the name of the film.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going for.
Well done.
Wow.
So the screenwriter Richard Curtis asked for Paul McCartney's approval for the title of the film. Sir Paul gave his blessing, but also suggested they call it Scrambled Eggs instead. This was a lighthearted reference to the fact that before coming up with the lyrics for Yesterday, Paul McCartney had the temporary lyrics of Scrambled Eggs as a placeholder for the song. How crazy is it that fits so well,
Yeah.
but is also the placeholder for the song?
Yeah.
Scrambled eggs.
Scrambled egg.
Though it was not in the original script, director Danny Boyle was so taken with the discovery of a recording studio by a railway track that he had the text altered to incorporate the trains and utilize the location as Gavin's studio.
Ah.
So it was just like a
Okay.
location hunt, and they must have found it, and he
that's
was
cool.
like, "This is the coolest idea."
Yeah. How nice is that Gavin guy?
Yeah, who's
I
just,
know. I
a,
felt
just a
bad for
good
him
dude.
at the end.
He ended up with a housemate at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, which I'll
And
come
she
up
was,
to.
She was hotter too, I reckon.
Wow,
Hey, personal preference.
really?
Yeah.
She was pretty good looking.
She was cute. Well, they're both good.
Yeah.
So is Jack
When
and Reece and Declan. And
that got weird. I love you too, Dad. When Jack first performs Yesterday, his friends claim that it is not as good as Coldplay. Ed Sheeran's role was originally meant for Chris Martin,
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
the lead singer of Coldplay, who could not do it due to scheduling conflicts. The joke was left in the script.
That's funny.
The flight attendant on Ed Sheeran's private jet was actually Sheeran's wife,
Oh, wow.
Sherry Seaborn. Some of the characters...
That scene with, what's his mate called?
Oh,
Rocky.
Rocky.
Rocky
Yeah.
with Ed Sheeran. It's like, you're a fucking idiot.
When he's like,
Yeah,
I love
the
the
plane.
rap. He's like, really? He's like, nah, don't do it anymore.
Oh, man.
leave it to the ones who know what to do or something. He says.
Yeah.
He goes, thanks. Here you go. So this is what I was going to say before. Some of the characters share the names with the Beatles songs. Rocky, the roadie and temporary manager, is named for Rocky Raccoon. Ellie, Jack's love interest, is named for Eleanor Rigby, which also happened to be one of the songs that Jack has trouble remembering. And Ellie's roommate, Lucy, is, of course, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah. The original story for the movie was written by Jack Barth. Now, this is what you were saying at the start. It was much darker in tone, with the main character struggling as a musician in the new timeline, and the premise of the alternate universe explored in more depth. When Richard Curtis did a rewrite, he made the tone much more lighthearted, put less emphasis on the premise of a new timeline without the Beatles, and more focus on the romance between Jack and Ellie. So it went from The Road to yesterday. The movie The Road to yesterday.
It still would have been interesting to, like, either version is interesting, really.
Yeah. I guess one would have gone more into, there would have been maybe more things like, Coke doesn't exist.
Yeah.
More of those things.
Well, I think from what I've read an interview with that writer, and he said it was more about that. It's more about the fact that you need the messenger behind the song to perform it.
To get it out.
Yeah.
Right. The repeated reference to Jack's childhood performance of Wonderwall by Oasis is a double joke. Not only did Oasis, and therefore the song, not exist in Jack's new world, the Beatles-less universe, but the title of the Oasis song was taken from an earlier solo album of East Indian music recorded by George Harrison.
Wow.
Yeah. Ana de Armas played a role.
She's in a deleted scene. I've seen it on YouTube. Yeah.
As a rival love interest that was deleted from the final film. But it can be glimpsed in some of the trailers, and that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a deleted scene on YouTube where he's on James Corden with her, and he performs a song for her, and she's like all giddy and stuff. Yeah.
She's so good. When Jack meets John Lennon, they sit and chat on an upside-down rowboat. In one shot, the word imagine can be clearly seen written upside down on the boat.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's cool.
Oh.
Jack is hit on his bike and breaks his front teeth and bloodies his lip. This actually happened to Paul McCartney in 1966. McCartney fell from his moped and chipped a front tooth in Liverpool. He also cut his lip and was left with a scar.
Wow.
It's kind of playing off that.
Yeah, that's good, eh?
And the last one was the Robert Carlyle one. He appeared in the music video for the Oasis song Little by Little. Oasis, like the Beatles, does not exist in the alternative universe, as we know.
Oh, he is in that music video.
Yeah. So there you go. That is the facts for yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good.
Sweet. Final thoughts. Let's go with you, Declan.
Yeah. I really like this movie.
That's it. Thank you.
No, like I'm a big fan of the Beatles. I sort of got into them through Oasis. Like when I was in my early 20s, sort of, I don't know, my music taste.
Really? Through Oasis?
Yeah, because I just started getting into Oasis. I do that off from time to time. I miss out on the actual wave of when someone's big and they get into it later in life. But
Yeah.
I got into, like, I started getting in, I got into Noel Gallagher and I was listening to interviews, and I'd always convinced myself in high school I didn't like the Beatles, and then I'd hear him talk about the Beatles in interviews, and I was like, oh. And I went and bought that. It's called the One album. It's all their number one hits.
Oh, yeah,
One
yeah.
album.
Yeah.
I bought that and I was just like, oh yeah, okay, they're pretty good. And then the rest was history. I just became obsessed.
Down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
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 And I like listening to John Lennon in his later life and stuff like that. Sort of like how big he was on Peace and things like that. It's cool to listen to. And they were pretty funny, like some of their stuff back. Like there's a famous press conference where someone says, do you think, one of the journalists is like, do you think Ringo Starr's the best drummer in the world? And John Lennon's like, best drummer in the world? He's not even the best drummer in the Beatles. And then later when they did their rooftop performance after, because they knew that was going to be their last show together, Paul McCartney sent Ringo a card that said, you are the best drummer in the world, which is really nice.
That's cool that he backed it up. He was like, like, I was, like as a joke. Yeah. Or was it? I could see them fucking with each other a lot though.
Yeah, they were cheeky.
Yeah.
John Lennon used to get into a lot of trouble. All they ever did was joke, but he said things like, think about how big they were in the world at that time. And he made a joke once. He goes, oh, we're bigger than Jesus. And that upset everybody. Wow. And it's like, fuck, it's just a joke, man.
Yeah.
They were massive.
Damn, man. Thoughts?
Yeah. Great movie. Another good selection by deck chair over there.
Give my thumbs up there.
Yeah, thumbs up there.
On the computer.
Oh man, no, I like these movies. They're good lessons, and you can take away from these movies. And like I said before, it's good to watch these once in a while rather than watching one genre, like action or horror or whatever, because it makes you feel more human.
Yeah,
if you want to put it that way. I like Danny Boyle. I've always liked Danny Boyle, and it's good cast, awesome chemistry on screen, great composition, and it's just a good feel-good movie.
Yeah,
it's simplest way I can put it. And I think I'll re-listen to the Beatles. I'll probably start off with that album you said.
I'd probably go,
or maybe number one.
If you didn't do it, I'd probably go to like one of those essentials playlists or something like that.
Oh,
first.
okay, yeah.
We should do that. We should do like once a month, like a podcast or a video thing
Of an album.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Or not even an album. Maybe even like if someone has a minor discography.
Yeah.
Or 2 or 3 albums.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be down for something like that. Maybe futuristically.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, 8 out of 10.
Boom.
Yeah, 8 out of 10.
Score,
Wow.
Same score that my girlfriend gave it. She said I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
It's good. Well, I nail on the head for definitely the interaction between the actors and everything. The chemistry between them is like really, really good. And I got to admit, like now having watched Lily James in a few films, I didn't know who she was until halfway through this movie. I got to check up who she is.
Yeah, she looked very girl next door in this movie, didn't she?
Yeah.
And just fantastic in it. I didn't know who Hamish Patel really was either.
He was in Tenet, I just remembered too.
Yeah.
But I didn't even. I never noticed.
I know, that's why I just...
Yeah. So I mean, like, he's definitely one to look out for because, yet again, super enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, I find there's better actors doing. I'm gonna classify this as an indie film, doing these roles, and as soon as they get into the big blockbuster stuff, I don't know. I'm just finding the older I get, the more the bigger blockbuster stuff. It's just not good anymore. Does that make sense? It lacks the feels.
Different reasons for things.
I think there are still gems in that genre.
Yeah.
And I think that there's still fun to be had from people's performances. I just think it depends on how they balance their character and action.
Yeah.
Really.
But there's no soul. Like, I think this movie has soul.
Well, Tenet was a movie that I think just blatantly didn't really care about the soul of its movie, right?
No.
It just was like, it was just like people are going backwards and forwards, and if you
it's
don't
more
get on board
spectacle.
with that, you're not going to like it. Basically, it was like,
Pretty much. I mean, like, as
and that's
the
what I
main
found
character doesn't even
frustrating.
have a name. He's called the protagonist.
Yeah.
that's the point of the movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
They could have called the bad guy Kenneth Branagh the villain.
Yeah. I find it lacks soul. That's what I find.
No, well, this movie's got a lot of soul.
Yeah.
I mean, it's about that's what the Beatles were, really.
Like if you look at I don't know, like Tarantino's films. To me, they've got like a personality with them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson, same.
Yeah.
But yeah, just these other new stuff. It's just like it's shit.
See, but I know that
that
I often go back to this series a lot, but the Marvel movies, for me, when I rewatched them recently, I was like, these movies have got a lot of soul, man. You really care about all the people in that. When you get to Endgame, you give a shit about all those people.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So it can be done in that field. It just needs to be executed in the right balance and everything.
Yeah. Well, Captain Marvel, you can throw that in the bin. That was rubbish.
I rewatched the movie. It's not bad.
Not bad.
Oh, she can't.
I mean, you're not going to win every one of them.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not terrible though. It's still better than average, I would say.
Well, it was really interesting. I watched probably about a week ago, I watched Birds of Prey. And I was one that was
I
like...
haven't seen that.
I didn't mind that movie when I saw it.
I actually
thought it was
really
alright.
quite enjoyed it.
Okay.
The first time I watched it, I was like, oh, whatever. And then I watched it this time, I was like, this movie's fun.
I actually couldn't understand why I was getting ragged on. I was like, this movie's... It's just like having fun. I didn't really...
Yeah, I'll have to check it out. Because
Ewan McGregor is
He's
fucking
good.
in it.
He's really good.
Like, he's so good.
yeah, he's solid.
He'll like cut someone in the movie, and as he cuts him, he go, ew. Like, as if like, ew, that's gross. Stuff like that, like little tweaks and that.
Yeah.
But like similar type of thing. Like, I think these movies, there's reasons for certain films. I think if you're a good director, like someone like Nolan, you'll know when to work hard on your characters and when that's not the point. And I think he's done movies where he's done really good characters. You look at The Prestige. You look at Memento.
That still is one of his best, I think. But like example, look at how do you keep saying his name wrong? Sorry, but Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi.
That guy's a freak, man. He can do, action. He can do drama. He can do comedy. He has soul. And
but he's like one in a million.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Good. But even
I've just recently watched like all his movies.
Yeah. The last
like
film,
Boy. Have you seen
man.
Boy?
Yeah, I have.
Fuck, that's an amazing movie.
Yeah, he's great.
I gotta watch his movies.
But look at James Gunn. Like,
but that's why Marvel is smart, because they've started hiring these people that worked in characters. Like I've said, the Russo brothers are on Community, so they did a lot of characters.
Yeah.
Like they did Endgame and Infinity War.
Yeah.
Taika, they got him in there. Like that was that's a stroke of genius. Who would have thought that would work in a Thor movie?
He's good.
And what did he do? He comes in and he goes, you know what? This movie's crazy, and we're just owning that it's crazy, and we're basically like all the characters are self-aware that they're in a crazy movie. That's basically that movie's like they all know that they're doing something crazy.
Yeah, and it works.
And let's face it, their best choice out of the whole film was hiring Jeff Goldblum. That was the important part of the movie.
That guy, man, he's got style. I wish I was him, man.
Daddy Goldblum.
He's so damn good.
He's pretty crazy in interviews, but he's so out there.
He's a bit much,
I think it's gotten to his head.
I love it.
But yeah, that's what I miss. I miss the soul and the purpose, and I think this has it. It's good.
Yeah. I don't know if I gave my score.
No,
they haven't.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I'm gonna give it because the only thing I have a problem with the movie is just it's very I can see where it's gonna end. That's my only problem. And that's not it can be something bad and it can be something good at the same time. In this sense, it's fine, it's good, because the story that it's telling is already told.
Yeah.
And then by the time we get to the end, it's like, well, we don't need to go any further. So, I mean, for this front, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I'd watch it with family. I think if I was to watch this with legitimately my whole family, even my grandparents,
it's a good
they
one.
would fucking love it.
Yeah, it's a good one for that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's definitely what I'd do. This is a movie, put it on with anyone.
Same sort of vein as Midnight in Paris.
I love Midnight.
That's a good one to chuck on for the family. Yeah.
But that's a little more difficult to...
I was thinking of the Midnight Express.
It's a little more difficult for everyone to understand, though. Because I feel
usually
like...
when I've put it on, everyone just gets a kick out of the fact that they know some of the historical figures.
But that's the thing. For example, my grandparents wouldn't know them.
Yeah.
So depending on maybe...
More like Salvador Dali and stuff when it gets to that, though. Like when it gets back into that.
Maybe. But I mean, they were probably a little less educated on that front.
I feel most of the...
But Beatles, I would know Beatles.
Yeah.
They'd be like...
What's Danny Boyle working on?
Danny Boyle, I can tell you while we're on this road.
Did you give your score yet?
Yeah, 7.
7. Yeah. For a moment, I forgot. At the moment, he's got 3 upcoming projects. Methuselah? An action adventure centered on a 1,000-year-old man who has used his time on the planet to develop an unparalleled set of survival skills.
It's going back to the sci-fi.
Miss Saigon. Well, we all know Miss Saigon.
War movie. Is it? No?
Miss Saigon. The musical.
Oh, I'm not.
So it's perfect for you. Okay. You'd love it.
No, I won't.
And Smash and Grab, which I don't know anything about. It doesn't say anything about it there.
Yeah.
They're the 3 that he's got coming up.
That's cool.
I always look forward to a Boyle film, but they are, I don't know, I always feel like he's a bit of a hit and miss dude with his movies. We had Trance in there from 2013, and
that's true.
that wasn't great.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up. We just reviewed yesterday. You've been listening to Neon Radio. I'm Reece.
I'm Dan.
Always tell the truth. I'm Declan.
And you have a good week.
Respect.